Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
I love law enforcement. We've got illegals being rounded up, and the families are like, oh, what's happening? We have head shops being raided that are selling marijuana, which we'll talk about here in a second. And we have Alabama law enforcement with the Attorney General's office and elsewhere closing 6 Jefferson County bingo halls for illegal gambling operations. Good. This is exactly what we should be doing. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that this is a bad idea to allow these guys to operate illegally when we can easily shut them down. The Attorney General's office is there. I guess we're getting closer to the bulldozer. That's my dream. Get those bulldozers ready. Me and Steve Marshall running dual bulldozers through gambling facilities across the state. Maybe we'll get there one day.
Number 6.
Oh, but it gets better. It gets better. Chig Martin. You may know him from an infamous interview he did on this program where he did not show up on time. And he then got mad and I hung up on him. Yeah, remember that? Yeah. Well, anyway, gubernatorial candidate Chig Martin condemned Governor Kay Ivey because of her bill that she has signed that would go after places for selling THC and marijuana and things like this. Well, apparently he owns a shop and he closed it because the raids were happening. And I kind of wonder, why'd you close your shop? Because raids were going on against illegal shops that were operating. Was your shop doing something illegal? I would argue, yeah, that's probably what it is. He put a sign that says closing because stores around us are being raided and their cash is being seized.
Number 5.
I've asked this question before. I was talking about it with Jeff Poore as well, and it looks like I was right. Yes, the retirement system of Alabama contracted a company tied to an illegal immigration raid to build the new $300 to $400 million state house in Montgomery. You know, I asked that of Jeff on this very program earlier this week, and I said to him, if I ask you this, you're probably not going to want to do the story because I've given you the idea. But yeah, it looks like it's real. The company that is building the state house did, in fact, hire illegals at another facility that got raided and 36 people got arrested. Now, I'm just telling you. Maybe the state of Alabama's hiring illegals to build their state house. It's possible.
Number 4.
The United States Senator Tommy Tuberville has demanded the firing of the Senate parliamentarian Elizabeth MacDonough for blocking multiple provisions in Trump's big, beautiful bill. She is an unelected bureaucrat, and there is a lot of questions about whether or not what she's doing is really what her job is supposed to be. She has struck out multiple things from the bill, including health care provisions that prohibit Medicaid funding for sex change procedures, denying Medicaid funding to states for coverage of certain non-citizens, and reducing federal Medicaid expenditures for the Obamacare expansion. That's just some of what she did. There's actually a lot more to it. They've worked to add some of that back, but man, you have some unelected person saying, "Oh no, you can't do that." The SNAP cost-sharing plan has gone back into the bill. That's one of the other things she tried to wipe out. Not great stuff here. Not great.
Number 3.
United States Senator Tommy Tuberville, who we just mentioned, and President Donald Trump have been very outspoken on the new mayoral candidate out of the city of New York. Now, Tuberville referred to some immigrants as inner city rats living off taxpayers, and he said that he can't believe New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani won the primary. Well, President Donald Trump labeled him a communist lunatic. So that's where we're at here on this issue. There's a lot of stuff being said about this guy's Islamic faith. I would warn a lot of people to steer clear of that kind of talk. I don't think it's very helpful to your cause. I think it actually helps Mamdani, and he's going to play off that victimhood.
Number 2.
So the Alabama chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations has heard what Tommy Tuberville is saying, and one of the things that Tommy Tuberville said was that there was a communist Islamic atmosphere in some of these major cities, which is true, by the way. And some of the Islamic clerics have said they like liberals, they like communists because they're malleable, they can do what they want. Well, the Council of American Islamic Relations in Alabama has now invited United States Senator Tommy Tuberville to visit a mosque after he warned others not to bring that communist Islamic atmosphere to Alabama. It's a good advice. You probably shouldn't do that. Don't bring that communist nonsense here. The focus on the Islamic part is what has their hackles up. And you know what? I think it's a fair criticism of Tuberville in this case. And you know what? Tuberville should also go to one of these mosques. There's nothing wrong with that. Go see him.
Now, time for the number one thing you'll be talking about today.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth with a big W yesterday. No question about it. Absolutely wrecked the American media because they deserve to be wrecked, by the way. They absolutely deserve to be wrecked. And I believe that I think this kind of put the media on their heels. They're backtracking a little bit. And saying, no, we never said it was anything but a preliminary thing. Yep, that's right. And I think they're learning very clearly that they got this one wrong. And hopefully they're going to come back and say, okay, we've screwed this whole thing up, which I think they've pretty much done at this point. They tried to act a little tough yesterday. I don't think they really got anywhere with that. He kind of embarrassed them. They deserved it, and it was awesome. So the nuclear program in Iran has been pretty decimated, not to say they'll never be able to rebuild it, but at this point in time, big win by the Trump administration. And our friends in the media, they just don't want to accept that. They just don't want to accept it. And I don't know why they're this way, but they are this way, and we know it. It's not up to us to understand what they are and why they're that way. It's up to us to understand who they are and understand that they're telling us exactly what they want to be, and then us react to it. So I think that's pretty clear. So Hegseth did a great job yesterday. He got a lot of respect from me in how he handled that. The only thing I take away from it that I would not do is the whole "how dare you criticize the troops" stuff. I don't think that's what anyone's doing. They're criticizing the Trump administration, and throwing that up as a shield is a little weak. But other than that, win by Hegseth and the Trump administration yesterday. The nuclear program has obviously been set back significantly. Everybody knows that. And anyone that won't admit that, well, they're not going to admit the truth ever. So it's just the way it is. We should know who they are. We should call them out for who they are. And we should treat them as if we know who they are. Let's take a quick time out. When we come back, more of your responses to our question of the day. Don't forget, you can ask your own question for 10 with him. Get that in here right now at 866-494-WVNN. That is the scoutpestcontrol.com. WVNN hot take text line. Stay tuned.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson's 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.